series of violent protests was staged in several areas over the police-involved shooting deaths of three men over the weekend. A very graphic photograph indeed. Fiery protest over three killed by cops. No peace. No justice, no peace. That's the banner headline on page 3. You can catch all of the details there on page 3. A very graphic photograph also published on page 3. Pregnant woman shot dead. Minister Young, Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, he said it was paid for violent city protests, according to the minister, as he addressed and he spoke at that media conference. It was paid for. Well, as I said, you can get the details in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. The story said National Security Minister Stuart Young said various protests yesterday were coordinated and pre-planned, involved criminal elements, and people were paid to create unrest by an unspecified party. Well, it's something I will discuss a bit later on with you, our dear listening audience. And yes, as a result of all of the fiery protests, all of the melee taking place in Port of Spain yesterday, the Senate would have adjourned. The Senate sat for less than 5 minutes on Tuesday afternoon due to a notably poor turnout of senators due to uncertainty caused by violent protests in the East Port of Spain and other areas in the capital. Now, this is a very interesting story too. 4 more test positive for COVID-19. And for the past couple of months, I've been following this story, and we would have been discussing this, and there would have been this raging debate as to whether or not the borders should open, given the fact that Trinidad and Tobago, we do not have what you call quote-unquote community spread. Well, the story said 4 more test positive. 4 more returning nationals have tested positive for COVID-19. This according to the Ministry of Health. The ministry stated in its regular COVID-19 clinical update that 4 additional returning nationals have tested positive for COVID-19, with 3 of the 4 recently deported nationals from the United States. Yes, my apologies for that. My throat has given me some trouble given the Saharan dust in the air. And yes, according to the Met Office, we've got this tropical wave entering into our jurisdiction. And behind that wave is another wave of the Saharan dust. So we need to be very, very careful outside there, people. Take all the necessary precaution, especially those of you who are suffering with respiratory ailments. Yes, as we continue to keep you abreast as to some of the stories published in today's edition of the Newsday. Commissioner of Police, 72 arrested during protest. Unrest plot fails. Businesses shutter. People flee. Protesters help business owners. So those are, but as I said, some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Well, the United National Congress, and a bit later on I'll be speaking to Anita Haynes, the Public Relations Officer of the UNC. Well, they are taking issue with the pronouncement coming from Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, pointing fingers at a political party, a particular political party. He did not name the political party as responsible for the protest yesterday. Now, I want to keep you abreast as to what is happening in Guyana. And according to a story as published in today's edition of the Newsday, the Caribbean Court of Justice will today hear submissions challenging Guyana's Court of Appeal decision on the constitutional meaning of votes cast at that country's March 2nd general election. Guyana's main opposition, People's Progressive Party, has filed a notice of motion asking for an interpretation of the words more votes cast. Now, you can catch the details of this story on page 9. It's a very interesting story, and no doubt we would have in this country a number of people who are following this brouhaha in Guyana concerning the Guyana general election. But we'll keep you abreast of all of the developments. I know our Lines are burning up, but first I need to take a very short commercial break, and of course when I come back we will continue with our discussion here, right here on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's go to a very short commercial break, and when I come back we'll continue. Stay with us here.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
Well, yes, please don't turn your dial. Yes, you are listening to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the most interactive morning program on the airways of Trinidad and Tobago. The voice there of the mighty Duke, How Many More Must Die, a relevant calypso for this morning's program as we engage you in discussion. It's just about 25 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock, and let me remind you that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of a radio 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Well, sitting alongside with me this morning is my colleague, good friend indeed from way back, way back, Nicole Duki, and we will be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning. Let me say a very special good morning to Nicole this morning. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning to you, Kenrick. Good morning to our listeners. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
I was wondering, where is Nicole?
Yeah.
I want to know how you're going solo.
No, I'm not going solo. I told my friend, I'm not going solo.
Well, if you can't drink solo, you have to drink Pepsi.
All right, Bawani, what's on your mind this morning?
All right, get serious. People were paid. Who paid them?
Well, this is the big question, you know. This is the big
How
question.
much they were paid? It is the opposition who instilled this kind of fear, this kind of thing. You hear the Attorney General say it was caused by the opposition. I thought Anita Haynes and the opposition was very slow in responding. From the time those kind of statements were made, they should have denied it immediately. You understand? Now, the thing is, I feel
No, but
sorry.
hold on. Let me challenge you. Where is the evidence coming that the opposition or a certain political party would have paid these protesters? And this Minister of National Security will always talk about evidence. Where is the evidence to support such?
Well, you know, all the statements made has been towards the blame game. Anything that happened, blame the opposition. You understand? I just hear somebody talking about how much housing government give out, and nothing happened in the period 2010 to 2015. Everything happened, you know, and it started Manning and Gaban. Anyhow, let me go there. The question is, there is no, well, I don't know, we have to wait for the evidence. Maybe later today, both the police commissioner in his news conference and the minister in parliament could bring the evidence and tell us who was responsible, because today's supposed to be parliament, right? I'm sorry for the lady who lost her life, the 30-year-old woman. But I asked the question, where was her priority? You have 5 children, you're on the verge of making us 6. What, you went into the bacchanal to record? Leave the people there to do what they have to do. You understand? Stay home and look after your children. Now, who is going to mind these children? Is the state going to mind these children? What about the father or fathers of these children? Because we know that in some circumstances you have more than one father. All of these questions you now have to ask yourself, because she has put herself in the wrong place at the wrong time.
All right, well, I hear you. Let's give somebody else a chance, Bawani.
Sure,
Thank you
sure,
very
sure.
much.
Okay, so I am waiting patiently to see where this evidence, these claims that the minister is making, it's not the first time he made such claims, and he has not presented any evidence thus far. So I think it's time that he steps up and he brings the evidence forth, because you cannot cast blame on persons. If you have evidence, show the national community, because it might just it sets the pace for further protest, you know.
All right, let's
Bring
take
the
another
evidence.
call. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Kenrick.
Good morning to you. Yeah, good morning.
Very good. And Nicole, good morning. to
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning. So what's happening in Port of Spain at this time, boy?
No, well, I work in my evening shift this week, but yesterday was therapy. It was actually, I was in a piece of traffic for about an hour and a half just between Charlieville to El Sicuro. But from the feedback from friends and family who live on that side, it dawned on cruise, and I was going home yesterday. Well, because I reached them all before. People and them, they literally, because Ramesh and Leela, which is by Febo, which is corner Lavanti Road, Febo Village, they come and they put tires in front of the grocery compound. Like if you're going into Santa Cruz, just in the junction itself, where they say the string to go into Lacano,
But
you know,
but hold on. But hold on. Do you share the view of the Commissioner of Police that this was an orchestrated event? I'm saying that to you because of the number of protests.
to 5, 3 out of 5. The other parts of Trinidad, such as Maloney and Corinth Village and so forth, what is the reason for that? I think that was just. But yes, it could be calculated. I will say yes. I will tend to sway on the calculated, coordinated. But it's these politicians coming up on the platform. I want to say that it is the how you call it, is the opposition and the this and no. Where's the evidence? So I would say, as the judge said, the accuser has the burden of proof. You bring the evidence, and as the voter and as the taxpayer, you can't convince me. Right?
Well, I'm sure that Nicole and the listening audience would agree with me. This was only something waiting to happen, you know.
Yeah,
this is
just
point.
something.
Yeah, the
correct.
police commissioner said it. He said it was something that was already waiting to happen, and they were
Spoken to my sister yet. I always said I have a sister who is an officer. I haven't spoken to her, but she's based in she's in Barkport. And I haven't got a chance, because I wouldn't call her yesterday because I know literally the whole country on high alert, all the officers.
Yeah.
So I'll give her a call sometime today. But the IC sensor was going on right now.
No, but even so, 43 police killings for the year thus far is a cause for concern, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is very is. I'm not disputing that.
All right, my friend, we need to take
So,
a
lock down, listen. Yeah?
Thank you very much. We need to take a commercial break at this time, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion.
Hurry to 3C Tool Rentals, number 77 Bonaventure Road, Gasparillo, for your business and personal tool and rental needs. Available for rent: coring machines, compactors, concrete vibrators, demolition hammers, drills, saws.
Barillo, for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood and assortment of lumber. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and...
This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday, 29th June. And feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, this Monday, 29th June for Talk Your Talk. Talk Your Talk.
Yes, and note that you can join Mukesh Baburam from just around 6 until the hour of 9 as he engage you in discussion. Let's take another call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Good morning, Ms. Tuki.
Good morning.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning.
Position by saying it's a repeat of 1990. And I'm saying this morning. I was sitting in my vehicle going through that terrible traffic, gridlock traffic, where shots were being fired. I mean, I was literally been in a battlefield, Kenrick. And the way I see officers operating with these thugs, let me say thugs, and I seen people just pelting things in the road. They don't care which vehicle passing on the road, they just pelting. Kenrick, I am asking the Minister of National Security if you cannot do this job and areas that these people are doing these things. Because till late last night, Kenrick, on Facebook, people were posting up videos of they were relighting fires on the roads and blocking roads. People nearly lost their lives driving down the road. They didn't see things in the road. Kenrick, I am saying this morning. The government of the day, the armed forces in this country, they need to get a handle on this. As a business person, I had a meeting with my boss just now. We are not going to send our vehicles in certain points of Trinidad today because of what took place yesterday. And it can happen again. And I'm saying this. If people feel that, by watching it on the social media and watching it on the news, it's just something to watch. It's only when you're inside of it and in the heart of it, you feel the fear. So, Kenrick, these people who are doing all of these things, they're not working. They're not working. And at the end of the day, they come out to make mischief. And I want to go back again and say and question this. How come when the pandemic was on in full swing, how come a certain chicken industry can send chicken to the beatum? Today, the chicken is paying off. Because they know, I saw a video, Kenrick, that a man is laying threats to the Prime Minister. He's a next gentleman on a TV interview. He laid threats to Gary Griffith. What the Commissioner of Police is doing this morning, we will wait and see. But if this continue, Kenrick, this is the start of a big riot to happen. Because yesterday when I left Port of Spain, Kenrick, I was heading up to Kumoto. Maloney there. And they were waiting for these riot to start there. And you are seeing a young man running with a tire. And I'm asking myself, why the police didn't lock that gentleman up one time? Because these people are inciting violence. They are inciting it. They are having this country unstable. And outside investors and even foreigners watching what is going on here, now it becomes even worse. And I'm saying it this morning. Now is the time to call a curfew in this country, whether who like it or not. A curfew must be called because this is not going to stop. 3 men were shot by police. Let the officers and the investigation team do their work. Get the result. But you know what? People in this country saying, it's years upon years upon years. But if your behavior towards the officers is basically expect the officers to do.
Well, I hear you, Larry. And look, I'm going to editorialize here this morning, Nicole. One have a right to protest, but protest within the confines of the law.
Of the law, that's right.
The police is there to maintain law and order. And if you are approaching a police officer in a very menacing way,
Yes.
the police officer will respond in particular. The point I'm making here this morning, while during the pandemic, Nicole, a number of people would have been calling for curfew and
Yes,
lockdown and
yes,
so on.
yes.
This morning, I am asking the question, or rather, I am supporting this call by Larry, that there should be a lockdown of Port of Spain or a curfew in Port of Spain. Let's hear what our callers are saying.
I also agree with you, Kenrick. As I described it, that they had taken with regards to the bars, I think that they need to make a decision as hasty as that and call a lockdown of these areas, because we cannot allow this to continue. The entire country was disrupted yesterday. Businesses, everybody, and it's people had to hours in traffic, persons going to work, coming from work, all these different things. People were traumatized as well, because they didn't know what was going to happen. So I totally support what Larry is saying as well.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you,
morning.
Bob.
It was a very, very sad thing to hear. Vision what is very, very sad. So many of these people who I saw on the films and so forth were actually school children, Ken.
Very young, yes, that's right.
I mean, I saw children in primary school and secondary school, and I shudder to think, oh my God, I thank God I am out of the school system right now. How would we be able to cope with people so if we do not really instill more discipline in the people and respectful, very shocking. And I will national news, Trinidad and Tobago in a very bad way, which is so sad. I'm a very patriotic person. So, my family and so forth. And I mean, this is something that I am ashamed of.
Correct me if I'm wrong, friend, and maybe somebody outside can tell me. But I have not read anything. I have not heard anything coming from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley.
No.
Well, that is what have me a little bit worried. I hope he is not unwell. Between you and me, Ken, seeing something so on the media and so. I don't mean to be, sarcastic or hypocritical. So, I mean, this turbulence thing would have gotten to the nerves of anybody from captain to crook. And I mean, it's a sad thing. I mean, I think that our forces need to be very, very exact. You know what I'm saying? They need to be exact. This is no if and but no. The majority of us here in Trinidad are law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding. We need to be protected. We need, when we leave our homes, to be protected. We already have to deal with all of this, with some people who are getting, and then worse too. Now we're seeing on the media and on Facebook these tons of guns. Kenrick, where are these guns coming from?
Well, I hear you, my friend. Well, look, in this country, we do not manufacture guns. And I listened to Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith last week in a press conference. And he did indicate that greater measures should be introduced at our ports, Nicole,
yes.
to ensure that these ammunition do not enter into the country.
Yes.
All right, let's take some callers on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick.
Good morning, Mr. Ellie. How are you this morning?
Good morning to your co-host.
Good morning.
I'll be very brief this morning.
Very brief. Go.
Yesterday, I witnessed an incident where some fellas tried to burn and block the road on him. When people interfere with my freedom and my liberty, I have a big problem with that. All the businessmen in Lesco shut the business, send home the workers. I, as a citizen, the last time we total policing, nothing didn't come out of it. And you see me, this nonsense had to stop and heads had to roll. And I sorry, Mr. Gary Griffith, the work fall in your hand, and the minister asked you, or you failed to be miserable yesterday. And people can't be making this country a laughing stock all over the world. All your friends are away. What happened?
Action. You know why they will not bite the bullet?
Yeah.
You know why? Because where all these protests, fiery protests are taking place, is in the heart of PNM constituencies. They are afraid to take decisive action. You know why? Because it will impact on votes. it will paint the party in a bad light. And I make no excuse for saying such.
You ask where the Prime Minister, right? I telling you, before the week is out, you will hear about financial packages will be coming for these people in the press communities. When you watch these young people here, most of them is under 20 years, lost, misguided, man. I tell all the Bondong people right next door, if all the start a fire, all the Bondong people, how people could threaten the Bondong, block the road. And more than one place they try to block it, but what happened, it had become no momentum. When they come and started, they was hoping that people here would join them.
Nicole,
nobody joined them.
My friend, Nicole comes from the East-West corridor, and I make no apologies for saying this. You see, this country, we have people who making decisions in this country feel that Trinidad and Tobago is East Port of Spain and so on. The East-West corridor, that is not Port of Spain. Do you know, my friend, that a number of workers from San Fernando, South Trinidad, are reluctant or are to Port of Spain this morning?
They have a right. In my favorite canal, we talk about able-bodied people in this country, able-bodied senior citizens, very concerned, very scared, and people making up their mind they're taking too much of that again. Because when you check it, who will get hurt? Is the ordinary, average going person who will get hurt? The small little businessman. Now, I telling you, you just normally say the other jurisdiction, this is happening and nobody ain't going nowhere. So I making my call and the Commissioner of Police and Mr. Nazgari only have something to answer this morning.
All right, but would you support is a curfew or a lockdown?
And yes, and also I was on resignation on my desk too. No. Like total policing was a shame in this country. And when you do well, you get a national award for doing Trinidad and Tobago well. But when you see Trinidad and Tobago like a laughing stock or evil, I have a big problem with that. And all the nonsense Gary will come and talk. I don't know. And then the next one say he's a target in e-building.
All right. Well, I hear you, my friend.
It's sad. It's a very, very sad situation, Kenrick. At the same time, it's a very touchy situation because while I totally loss of a life, when you love, you really, it takes a toll on you. But the direction in which they have taken this, they went too far. And again, I would say I support lockdown of Port of Spain and all those areas that had protest action taking place across the country. Because when you look at it, a lot of persons suffer the consequences of these actions.
All right. No, Nicole, we have our lines are burning up this morning, but I need to get into a commercial break at this time. Okay. And when I come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here, 975.
Radiator Works, specialized repairing, recoring, and cleaning of all automotive and industrial coolers, heat exchangers, and gas tanks. A wide variety of metal and plastic radiators are also available. Visit any of the branches today: Vista Bella, Aripero, Princestown, or their newest location in San Pedro via Rio Claro. Call today 652-6297 or 747-8601. Davies Radiator Works. We cool the heat when you overheat.
Davidson Safety Garments for all your industrial safety supplies. We supply a wide range of industrial needs such as face masks, coveralls, shirts and pants, jackets, aprons, lab coats, fire-resistant clothing, steel-toe boots, and we also do embroidery and printing. Visit Davidson Safety Garments Industrial Supplies Limited at number 163 Southern Main Road, Marabella, or call up 0506-289-0507, 289-0508, or WhatsApp us at 773-3863. Our fax number is 71, or you can email us at sales@davidsonsafetygarments.com. Whatever your safety needs, we can supply.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. 12 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock. Let's go to the lines again. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Nicola. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. Good morning.
Why is that when the things start, and they could have called an emergency one time and state of emergency?
No, they will not do that. This
because
about...
it's election time coming up, and because, in fact, even for us from Mova, for Chelsea and Mova or whatever, How they reach on the Eastern Main Road? How they reach on the Beetham Highway? Quite Baloney.
The whole of Trinidad is under siege because of what? People in East Port of Spain, and I make no apologies for saying that.
But that is a fact. I try to explain to somebody, and they figure that that is out of the question. You see, as long as the gang and the bandits then get pushed back, they intend to do anything to come forward. The littlest thing then coming forward to make a problem, the fact remains situation. But the thing about it, no, if the police come out, yes, they try to do the work, they try to do whatever and things, but the police could have put more pressure on the people then. You understand? But they put no pressure on them because the election coming up. This time call us a curfew or state of emergency or something, lock down the whole of the state and deal with them. That way you have to do this. People that have no behavior. You know, they say the police killing go up by 86%. But you never hear nobody say You never hear that. You never hear how much percentage the rape and the killing and all this thing going up by. But 86% the police killing going up by. So the police stupid in this country. They must take.
No, hold on. I opened the program this morning by saying people have a right to protest within the confines of the law.
The law, that is right.
But if you are approaching a police officer in a menacing manner, he or she must.
Look, I watched a little video yesterday, boy. These people that going up to the police, don't respect to the police.
No respect whatsoever.
None at all. So here, if you have no respect for the police who do that law-abiding citizens who work in this country or whatever, what about your parents? So what about the village you're living in, boy? You expect these people.
Okay,
and let me tell you something. I want to protest it, and one of these days, I go to protest by the land management place because I see the lady making a certain news release on the Guardian newspaper about land grabbing and land this and land that, and she has things she dead, and she wouldn't see about it.
All right, well, we hear you there.
Kenrick, you know what was even more disturbing? I'm always on social media, so I'm going through social media yesterday evening, and I'm seeing these guys, these young fellas, they're on Facebook on camera, and they are issuing threats against towards the police commissioner. I listened to a voice note like, real? Why do you have to do this? I'm like, okay, in my opinion, I was like, them and deal with them accordingly.
All right, let's take the discussion a bit further. These young men and women on the streets of Port of Spain yesterday protesting. When other sections of the community empower themselves and build capacity for themselves, they feel left out.
Yeah.
They call on the government of the day to provide resources for them. But you know, Nicole, there are many avenues whereby these young men and women can empower themselves.
Of course.
A number of avenues.
Of course.
But they want the easiest way out. You know why?
Because I even heard one of them said they don't want any more hampers from the Prime Minister. And they are dependent.
No, well, hold on. Maybe the Prime Minister, and by extension, the Minister of National Security, could employ them for his work and what have you.
But the thing is, where were the members of Parliament for these areas? None of them were there.
Misguided.
Any of the areas.
Misguided young men and women. Misguided young men and women. I want to hear Fitzgerald Hines
Where
this
was
morning.
he?
I want to hear Fitzgerald Hines and people like them, you know, who always talk about, you know, black youths and what is happening with them. Talk to these people.
But he was in the Beetham area, if I can recall. If it's not this week, last week, he was in the Beetham area, and he was doing campaigning. He was campaigning in the area. So how come yesterday, in all of this, why didn't you talk to them? Why didn't you tell them what you're doing is wrong? You are the member of Parliament.
It is disgusting. It is unacceptable. It is obscene for a group of misguided people, country to siege and to hold this country to ransom.
Yes.
I make no apologies for saying that, because I am sure that some businesses in East Port of Spain today will remain closed.
Yes, businesses had to close yesterday. Now they're probably fearing, their workers are fearing. You need to do better than that.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Miss Nicole. Morning, Miss Nicole. Oh, God, look at this kind of rough stuff I got to deal with this morning. And you now start off feeling sorry for you. Yeah, Mr. Kenrick, you know, man, I want to see yes note. The Minister of National Security, Mr. Agai, give them for that joking. I had the class that you just yesterday evening, about yesterday evening. Anybody outside, morning. And well, all we have to go to work on a normal channel, but once they're outside, I can't tell me they're outside, inside. From yesterday evening, and I can't understand at this point in time a crisis like this. We ain't anything when the Prime Minister, but he's the head of the National Security Council. Right? So something going on, miss something lining up there. Yeah, because you get them off the road, state of emergency yesterday evening, from about 6 yesterday anyway. And Army come out in full force, patrolling the whole place. What you're doing outside.
And you're right, because there was an expectation that something untoward may happen last night.
My army in the whole of there yesterday, all right through the whole day, rest of the week. Right through. That is what they're there for. I mean, if you want to force or whatever, that is, I mean, you are right to protest. But you can't be pelting my vehicle when I pass and tell the thing in the road. No problem, hold a little placard and do what they do. But nah, the road is dying no entitlement that I die breaking the law, man.
Okay, well, I hear
and
you.
I'm shocking me out, yeah, bye.
Well, no, I totally a business, Nicole. And these people, here it is now, their lives have been impacted negatively. They cannot go to work this morning, their lives are disrupted. Why? Because of a handful of people, misguided people. The police commissioner, Gary Griffith, would have said, look, you people are calling for justice.
Yes.
An investigation would be launched.
The investigation has already been launched by the Police Complaints Authority. So why are you taking it out of context? Allow justice to be, let justice take its course.
Well, I told Shiva, and let me say good morning to Shiva this morning. I told Shiva, this is as a result of what is happening now in America with the Black Lives, what they call it, incorporate that whole...
Trinidadians love to follow
calling for justice. Nicole, did you take a look at how those people dress? The behavior?
To the police officers. How, and I'm sure, because she seems mature, so I'm sure she probably has children. What are you teaching your children? Or what are you teaching the young children that were around you?
Nicole, as I said, it's a situation which is, look, as I said before, people have a right to protest.
Yeah.
But within the confines of the law, it is going to react. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good 75. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir.
Do you think that yesterday morning, from 5 o'clock yesterday morning, if the army was outside there together with the police, that protest would ever take place? You get, right? Yet the place until it started to happen. So what happened? It come like the protesters and them win yesterday, because business wasn't as usual. Everybody had to turn back and go back home. They disrupted everything that was happening in Port of Spain yesterday. People was going to Port of Spain. All the information, no plan in place. Or is it that they say, let the protests go ahead because certain people and some people. What really happened yesterday?
All right, well, you're asking me a rhetorical question, I would imagine. Anyway, let's take this on. Hello, good morning. Well,
Kendrick, and good morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
All right, good morning, dear.
It was a tough day yesterday, but your callers, everybody's saying, shut down. Look at those people, how they dress. Did you see the conditions of their housing? Did you see that road? Did you see how dilapidated the pavement was? And did you see them make way for Marlene McDonald's to go through her office? The people have no representation, and that is what you get. Loss of dignity.
No, ma'am. Hold on. How can you say these people do not have representation, where historically they would have voted for a particular political party?
Yes.
When I say they don't have representation, what I mean is a false sense of representation. You have MPs going there giving these people hampers, and you're not giving them jobs. I've been to some of those schools in Port of Spain, and let me tell you, it's frightening. It's frightening. You wouldn't want to put your dog in buildings. I'm telling you the truth. You're driving some of these neighborhoods, and you're terrified. You're like, put your windows up and keep going. It's a perception that adequate representation.
Why other jurisdiction?
Them out because they are in the heart of Port of Spain. They are in the capital.
All right, ma'am, call me back after the 7 o'clock hour, because I'm enjoying this conversation with you. Let's go up to the 7 o'clock newscast. And when I come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here on 975. Stay with us here.
Time has new 97.5. Make it yours. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning. Protest action has already started this morning in the Cookreet area. This followed a day of unrest in the country yesterday and into last night. Video footage showed fires in the roadways in the Port District. Residents of Mova, Beetham, Sealots and other areas staged massive protests in the capital city. They called for justice in the police Saturday. A pregnant woman from Beetham Gardens was killed during the melee, while many others were injured. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith said yesterday's demonstrations were well planned. He made the statement in an interview with the media. The police commissioner said the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service had prior knowledge of the protest. However, he assured that the TTPS was prepared.
Hours prior to this, because of the good intelligence that we received, we had that preemptive strike. We have prepared for this months in advance. Anticipation of such a situation like this, we have seen it worldwide. And through the Commissioner Command Center, we were able to see everything in real time. If you look in the back here, you'll be seeing with the cameras, getting real-time video footage. We also have the cameras throughout the country. And from that, we were able to pinpoint every single action that was taken, almost every single one by these individuals. We were able to pinpoint it immediately. Let us not be fooled into believing that the persons who did this was because of their rage over what had transpired. Two totally different things. There are many persons there who want justice. There are many persons who took part that would be protesting because of what took place. The individuals, however, who had plans to shoot at police officers, to shoot at the Attorney General's office, to be involved in throwing over vehicles, burning tires, that had nothing to do with what took place a few days ago. This was they used that as an opportunity. We had intelligence.
Police Service yesterday said in a release, the TTPS said 72 persons were arrested thus far, and National Security Minister Stuart Young said persons were paid to protest. He made the comments at a media briefing yesterday. The minister said that he had received reports of persons being recruited by criminal elements to perform orchestrated acts. Jamaat al-Muslimin leader Yassin Abu Bakr has expressed concerns of the increase in police killings. A newspaper has reported that there was an 86% increase. Bakr media conference yesterday.
In a small country like this, 86% rise in police killings. The people therefore has to be concerned, and they must be concerned.
The Jamaat leader and his attorney hosted the media conference to address the issue of his son's arrest. Fuad called for his immediate release.
If politicians can be arrested tomorrow and charged if he's charged, because he is the leader of the New National Vision, and all politicians claim to speak on behalf of the people, right? And if he is there in the capacity of the New National Vision and speaking on behalf of the people, he's committing no offense. And so we're asking for an immediate release.
Bakr also condemned the killings of the 3 men in Mova over the weekend.
Very clear that this seems to be an extrajudicial killing, and now they have exacerbated the condition even worse, because I understand that 2 people were killed today. I don't know if you can confirm, but I understand that a woman was shot and that she died, and a man was also shot in Mova. He died, and 2 other people were shot. So they exacerbated even worse.
In some other news, employees attached to the North Central Regional Health Authority have been paid outstanding increments for the period 2013 to 2018. A payment of $40 million have been made to the workers ahead of the promised period of June 30th to July 4th. The arrears were paid directly to workers. He explained that the increments are money owed following successful employee performance reviews. You are listening to the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has asked the head of the European Union mission in Caracas to leave the country within 72 hours. This after the bloc released sanctions against 11 Venezuelan officials. However, Venezuela's airspace is currently closed to commercial air COVID-19 pandemic. One of the officials sanctioned is the opposition's legislator, the leadership of the National Assembly, controlled by the opposition and Maduro's main challenger, Juan Guaido. Relations between Venezuela and the EU have been tense since 2017. In international news now, a top disease researcher has cases in the country reach 100,000 per day. During the hearing, he said about half of all the new cases came from 4 states. Earlier, the New York governor. On Tuesday, cases rose by more than 40,000 in one day for the 4th time in the past 5 days. At least 16 states to pause or reverse their reopening plans. Taking a look at the weather now for the period today until midnight, Trinidad, Tobago and the Windward Islands would experience sunny and breezy conditions despite a few cloudy spells accompanied by showers, 1 or 2 heavy at times. There is a 30 thunderstorm during the afternoon. Tonight will be settled as hours. Saharan dust concentration will increase from this afternoon, reaching unhealthy levels as the night progresses. Persons susceptible to this should take the necessary precautions. Gusty winds and seas slight to moderate. And this brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. newscast on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 8 a.m. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited. Located at 107 Tiki Alley at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Aldi ID Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables. Not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen to choose from. Take advantage in City, Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba for quality items, super quality supermarket, and quality cash.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and convenience.
Lovers, Rook is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U97.5 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. Monday, 29th June for Talk Your Talk.
On the road again with U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Yes, we're back with our road road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and a lot 75 FM. Hot like pepper, multicultural radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
Yes, so just about 12 minutes here past the mind you that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Note also to folks that you can catch us live on U975. Again, let me remind you of that. You can catch us on YouTube live at RCL U975, and you can also get us at 975radio.com. So check out these. You can also call us at 6367547 and 2275739.
Okay, good morning again, everyone. So, Kenrick, I was just scrolling through social media again for that in the Laventille area, a police officer's car, a female police officer's car, was set on fire. So we know what we're in for today. This protest action is not going to cease anytime soon.
Well, hence, it also emphasizes and reinforces Larry's contribution here this morning.
What?
Yeah, where he called on a curfew or a limited state of emergency in Spain. This is the only way that you can get on top of the situation. Because if police officers continue to pussyfoot and not take action, this thing can escalate to other jurisdiction as to what we would have seen yesterday in San Fernando. I can't understand how this thing could reach San Fernando, Current Hills. Come
San
on,
Fernando
people.
or Rima Maloney.
Yeah. Come on, people. What's really wrong with you people? What's really wrong with you? Hello, good morning.
No, I'm not defending this, and I want you to understand this.
Okay.
A depressed, or what is considered a depressed criminal. There have been several police shootings. I'm not saying what the people did yesterday is right, but I'll explain to you where I trip off on that. Several police shootings. Because if you look at the video with this police incident, you will see where one man pull a gun for a police officer, because I didn't see the video. I don't want to look at it. If one man pull a gun for police officers and you have three men, and one man pull a gun, I don't understand how all three there. Right? So therefore something definitely. But then there was a police murder a day or two before, if I'm not mistaken.
On the same morning.
So that leads me to wonder. Action based on that action. You understand the story? And then after seeing the video, but we don't have a video of the police officers, we have a video of the police action against the men. So based on that and based on what is going on in these communities, because you could cause several murders, there were some people come from Jamaica making a video in Laventille, all of them lying up, all of them dead. We have right now some police before the court. Gary Griffith tried some time ago to ask 1 year we're going on resign because before the court for murder, they take the state to court and they win the matter.
Okay, so in this protest yesterday was in essence as a result of police action and increased police action and killings in recent past over.
So from one standpoint, yes, that's correct. But when you listen to Gary Griffith's argument, he live in Bartari, I live in El Tipo. There are 3 roti shops in my community. Yesterday I decided I going and move over to buy a roti. What you call inside? The Bakamalik. And roadblock protesting.
No, but hold on. Let's get into the meat of the matter. Here it is, you had a number of young men and women protesting yesterday.
Misguided.
Calling for justice. No, you say misguided. Calling for justice. Police commissioner, and by extension, the police complaints authority would have said that they would investigate the matter. An assurance was given that those who are found prosecuted. Yes?
But understand this now. This turned into somewhat of, you hear a man call and say just no, nothing in, nobody.
Well, hold on.
Yes?
What?
You see,
hold on. What?
1 minute, please. 1 minute. You see those people at Wet Hines? Those are the people at level of protest in Port of Spain.
But hold on.
You understand my point,
That incident too, according to political operators, that was prompted by the opposition. Now, the Minister of National Security is echoing the same view that the protests yesterday, these protests, opposition.
Let me explain to you why.
Where is the evidence?
Well, all right, you want to see the evidence?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's that run on my television for how many nights? And Gillian John told me a young black African man gets shot. And they give him a piece of land and show him how to replant. Let me tell you what they did in Lavan, in Sila is. They say PNM knew nothing for them. The same building, the PNM building, they shooting each other to get the same contract. The security say join everybody together, pull this one and pull that one together, and they get in the same building to build. They shoot each other still, but they finish the building. Understand what I'm telling you? You will political entities, in order to attract a certain type of voters,
No, you see, you go on my pay speculation. There's no evidence. You're only voicing. There's the evidence to support that protest yesterday was orchestrated.
Not the first time he would have made such accusations to how to put it, to incite, drama in the country.
Whether you pay people or not to do something, to behave, well, go back to the People's National Movement.
It will definitely go back to
So, are you saying that these people are so misguided that their votes can be bought? Is that what you're saying? Let's take this caller. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning to you and the host.
Good morning.
But that's pretty caller. I don't know why you just keep it so long on the radio for.
No, you see, it's interesting to get the views of other people.
To their own opinion. Eh?
No, it come like this. He telling you only 2 and 2 could make 4 and not 3 and 1. But anyway, forget that. The most ridiculous statement I ever heard. Where was the army?
But there was the presence of the army yesterday.
Yes.
Where was the army? Are they waiting to fight a war? The war happening. Where's the army?
No, but hold on. We are in a very serious situation. Last night there was an expectation that something untoward can be taken. I am saying to you that this morning, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Minister of National Security Stuart Young, and by extension, all those decision makers should have called a state.
But the most ridiculous statement, that man, I don't know what is it, but can we thank God this thing didn't escalate. But you see, we Trinidadians, we are follow fashion. They see what happened to the guy, and they bullying Black Lives Matter and they killing one another.
Yeah, they killing one another, but talking about Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Thank you. And the very same police officers that they are pointing fingers to and aiming their arrows at are black men.
Yeah.
Afro Trini, Indo Trini. So, what is it?
Black Lives Matter, but yet still you kill one another. So, who are you killing? Are you killing the white man? I don't think so. You're killing your own. So, what do you say?
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick again.
Yeah, good morning, friend.
Right now, school is due to open in September, right? And all the denominational schools, the principal and the school, they prepare the school for opening. And why these fellas instead of running on the beat and why where the children are going to school, try and assist the school and people know.
Running around and all the behind showing.
Right, you're running around all that guys. Right? So you're supporting you want somebody to come to that particular school, you're going up and you're up there and spoon feed you. You get up and I say we're doing that, but then I want to know, well, you want to quarrel and blame everybody. You people come in the road and disrupt the place. I mean, so, you have to look at what other people doing and how they're succeeding. And then when you expect somebody to come and feed you in your house, they can't protest and destroy the place because they have to come and build back after. Look, this morning, all the health centers in those hotspot areas, people for safety, they closed. Yeah. What's going on if somebody gets sick in here today? You self-cause your own health center, they closed. So who you want to blame now? I mean, I might make a mistake thinking of it. You have to look and make sense of that nonsense.
Well, answer my question this morning. Would you support a limited state of emergency or a complete lockdown of Port of Spain?
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. What you talking about? A failed plan to destabilize the country. Hello, let me tell you something. Workers from San Fernando, South Trinidad, will not go to work this morning because they are scared. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick and Nicole.
Good morning, dear.
How are you doing?
We are doing fine this morning.
Well, I want to say this is nothing new, Kenrick. This has happened before already. we have these, they say the chip doesn't fall far from the block. And I heard the days back on TV, he was saying that when the person asked him if he will do this again, and he said, yeah. So, you see, the people, let's forget things. But these people up there too, in the east or wherever, they are lawless people. They don't care anything about police or people or who. And as you rightfully said, all the votes there for the PNM. Now, I was saying, look, the policemen were there. Look how they built a policeman head. Look at things they were doing to other people. The other people, the police was just there to see, to guide them and talk to them or whatever. But they had an rage in them doing all these things for other people. Now, that is right. Look, even the bread van, Chibo or whoever, did you do it? Now, they are doing a lot of violent things. And when you look back at on them, they're getting vexed. No. This, what lawless, they're lawless or they're illiterate or whatever. But another thing, this woman, as Mr. Bawani said, it's the same thing I was thinking. If you are pregnant and you have children, what you going outside here to do?
Yeah.
Think about the children themselves.
And by
people, they are not righteous thinking people.
And by extension,
they're just like, war people, they're out to do this, and we don't afraid nobody. And another thing, the Prime Minister, you couldn't hear, you know why? I heard on another station.
No, but
all that time happened, he was in Chagonas.
He was in Chagonas.
Yeah, but sometime back. Yeah,
tiles.
but hold on. Sometime back, he would have described.
So no, when he had to come out, he would say, well, he had no idea of what is going on. This government, anything happened there, we had no idea. So put the blame on somebody else. But these people, I was thinking the police now with all of this, they would have put tear gas. I was looking forward to those put tear gas to scare the people. But they didn't even do this. Why they didn't do this? You have to ask them these questions.
All right, well, I hear you. Let's take another call. 297.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Chris.
Well, certainly you have a mouthful for this morning, Chris.
Right? If the opposition have the resources and the coordinating mechanism to execute what happened yesterday, they could use that same thing to win election.
To win.
And to be stupid to do what they did. Because that could cause the Constitution to cause a state of emergency action for the next 5 years. So I think there are too many lawyers in the opposition to think about doing something like that.
No, but hold on, Chris.
If they have resources to do what happened yesterday, they have resources to win an election.
Well, I totally agree with you, because according to Gary, this was well planned, well orchestrated, and the minister.
It is planned.
Yeah,
it is planned. Shut. You see, if the same Guy Griffith said, what happened in America? This thing has been rumbling. And we know it would have been rumbling. We know it's a racist kind of thing all over the world with this, any part of the world, like a place like Trinidad here. And I've been a statement recently on the radio, somebody said something about Guyana, and I said, I can't be in Trinidad. They said, what, Chris, is going to happen? You think so? I'm telling you, we are not going to take Shubishino. So what has happened was no surprise to Guy Griffith, no surprise to me. It has nothing to do with the opposition and politics. It has to do with people having had enough dope.
So, okay, well, thank you very much. But the question is, how do you move forward?
Yeah.
You cannot have a group of people affecting the lives of the entire population. The stores are closed, businesses are closed, people would lose money, people can't go to work because there's just fear of getting into Port of Spain.
Kendrick, what about if you have coronavirus, though?
Well,
together, What about that fear?
Well, last night I told a friend, okay, let me take this call on the line first. Okay, the caller has gone. You can call us back 547-227-5739.
So, those persons who were arrested, they should be charged for breaching the public health regulations as well.
All right. Well, hold on, Nicole. Here it is. You have positive cases in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. Well, you had 4 additional cases. 3 were nationals who came from abroad, or rather who were deported. But I will emphasize a bit later on. Let's take this caller. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kendrick and Nicole.
Go ahead. I'll give you your time. Go ahead.
You did a good job with that guy from Barrett, and let me tell you, he perked my interest up, and I want him to. I heard him very clearly, and I think, something, if you look at how all of this is orchestrated and played out, we didn't see any organization really like Bullhorn and people marching on the streets and all these things, right? But this was like a police kind of thing. You see, I think we're stuck in the crossfires between the police and what is going on in the streets. And, every day there are killings, and it's like the norm, and we just The news plays into it, but we don't hear about these boys, their family. He had drugs and he got killed and he had ammunition. Police shoot him. And we getting neglected because we are in the crossfires. We get robbed. We are part of the training that these guys go through because they're using us as training tools, honestly. The more you rob and the more you... And now it's getting bigger with drugs. Now it's coming out and saying, look at all this technology we have now. We are going to catch you. You know, this is all a show to fool the people in the crossfire. So we now debating who's right and who's wrong. The bottom line.
Yes.
They're losing money, and the police left it in a mess. The building falling apart now. You see, this is not how you build a country. And Nicole, let me keep asking the right questions and be fair, and let me not take sides, you know, because Port Spain shouldn't be locked down. Everybody has a right to protest, but this is a personal thing between the police and. Guess what? The 1% now. This is the crowd the 1% is frightened of, and this is the crowd when Mr. Aboud or whatever said to Mr. Bouzain, he said that it kind of gets scary sometimes, you know, when the people, you have to worry about the people out there, because once they rise up, they have to duck out. And I'm telling you, those people in Port of Spain, the elite, are terrified because it's right near their door. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution here with us this morning. No, look, let me make a point here. Education in Trinidad and Tobago is free, Nicole. Yes?
Very much so.
You can empower yourself. The government of the day would have tried to help you to build capacity for yourself, to empower yourselves, to get a job.
Yeah.
But you cannot depend on the state to give you everything.
Everything.
Where's the enthusiasm? And all of these misguided youths, it comes from the environment in which you are brought up in. The environment, the people you oscillate with. And if you think that, okay, it's about get rich quickly or die. This is all about it. So you gravitate towards the people who you... In this country, bad boys are worshipped, gang leaders are worshipped, as opposed to, let's say, people who are trying to lead progressive life. This is the value system we have in certain areas. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning again, Kenrick.
Good morning, Larry.
Kenrick, I read on social media that the Lion of Komodo has passed away. I want to send my condolences to his friends and families and, well wishers, because that's me.
Yeah, Sam Budram.
I did visit him recently. I really love his voice. He's a real gentleman.
Right.
Secondly, Kenrick.
No, hold on. His favorite song is Lalana Kusi.
Yes.
See, I brought a smile to Nicole's face. Yeah?
Yeah, all of us did love Sam Budram's voice, and we will surely be missed in live programs in Trinidad and Tobago. But Kenrick, another thing I want to touch base on with you this morning. I also read on social media one of my community business, a farmer who sells produce in such a trace in Debe.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it is frightening to know that somebody like this, trying to earn a living for his family and maintain his bills and stuff. And lo and behold, gunshot round hit him. He died on the spot.
So his life does not matter, right?
Clearly.
Black lives matter. I will say all human lives matter. Who like it?
Exactly.
I would not even give an ounce of consideration for who telling me I'm talking rubbish, because they don't know better. But Kenrick, I'm leaving my office now to head out to do my daily work. And I tell my bosses this morning, if at any time I see protests taking place, that's it. I packing up and going straight home. I'm not going to step and fear what I did yesterday.
No, I agree.
That's right.
I agree with you, Larry.
I'm not going to do that today. I'm a big man. I have my family. Kenrick, thank God my wife and son abroad, honestly speaking.
Yeah, but hold on. They're in a country where the coronavirus continue to rise, my friend.
Time Corona came out, they have been locked down, they have been home, they have moved, they have supplies coming to them. They are very cautious. But listen, when we looked at the health restrictions that the government of the day put on us, the Minister of Health, every single protester today the prison shouldn't have no room because they broke all the laws pertaining to the guidelines.
Yes.
And I'm asking the Commissioner of Police, you want to lock down the bars, you want to charge the barman for having 30 people in the bar. Here what's going on? Mr. Gary Griffith, Commissioner of Police, National Security Minister, and I'm saying this. Yes, he was in the command center yesterday controlling the officers, and you need to get your act in order. You need to come out here now and start locking up anybody today who come out to protest. They want to protest violently, lock them up. They want to protest peacefully, fine. But keep the distance. Have a good morning.
Okay, well, thank you very much for you. No, as I said before, they do not have the wherewithal. They do not have the confidence. They will not bite the bullet and take decisive action. Why? Because it will be viewed as a political. Let's take another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Can you always make the point about being responsible for oneself?
That's right.
Bob Marley said, country and say, opportunities, opportunities. You tell me, where in the world you have education from the cradle to the grave as in Trinidad? Apart from academia, my PAT, my LAT, CCC, YTEP, and God knows, everything could get a stipend to do anything you want in this place.
Yes.
And coming back and say, no opportunities. What you want? You want me to eat the food and digest it for you? You want me to study course and give you the skill?
No, they enjoy...
Some people are just too lazy. That is what it is.
They enjoy being... They enjoy being
adult popular. That many young people believe that they are being deprived. I know when I was a young fella... Listen to me. Nobody didn't give my bond, you know. Single parent. I walked to school from age 5 from the back since people to primary school.
No, Chris, let's be serious here. Here it is. You have other jurisdiction in Trinidad. School opening on September. You have students writing exam, SEA student writing exam on the 20th of August. They are preparing for exam. They're putting all the infrastructure in place. A situation or scenario play out in East Port of Spain. Why?
Boy, let me tell you something, Henry. Listen to what I'm saying. When I was 14 years old, 14, you know, because I couldn't write common entrance. I was too old to write common entrance. 14 years old. My mother had me attending Savannah Girls Government School on evenings doing woodwork classes. I was decided to be a carpenter. At age 15, I wrote an entrance exam to St. John's College. And I won a tuition scholarship and died by GC Cambridge and get into the public service and get into teaching. But you know what? My mother didn't get 5 cents back before nobody, you know. I know you can take your road and wrap it up with your takari and you put it up in your pocket and go to school. And then we're going to drink water today, breakfast feeding program,
lunch, yes.
School book grant. When you had at home, you get food, care. What they want against this?
Free PTSD transport for school students.
And then you have people going, they don't have opportunities for young people. These people who are causing the youth to go astray, and as far as I'm concerned, should jail them.
I hear you, Chris.
Thank you.
I hear you. Well, thank you very much. A very passionate contribution coming from our good friend there, Chris, this morning. Nicole, we need, as we head up to the hour of 8 o'clock, just about 19 minutes here to the hour of 8. And that time check came to you to the kind courtesy of Radio 975.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
JD Customs Brokerage Services Limited for all your shipping and brokerage needs. We provide import and export, logistics, customs clearance, and consultations. With care and safety, visit JD Customs Brokerage Services Limited at number 51 Stephen Street, California, or call 221-3425. WhatsApp us at 356-7279 or fax 221-9519. Email us at jdpsltt@gmail.com.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket C3 blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barraco, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Grand Diamond Hotel in our newest and exquisite grand opening Chai Thai restaurant situated at LP 12 Golden Grove Road, Piaku. Come and enjoy our authentic Thai and Indian cuisine, and our outdoor terrace would be available from the 22nd of June. We can offer you our indoor and outdoor patio and rooftop restaurant dining. All meats halal. For reservations, call 331-5013-320 or email address chaithai19@gmail.com. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Services are available 11 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. Secure parking and excellent services.
Yes, indeed, and thanks for staying with us here at 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper. We're moving up to the hour of 8 o'clock, just about 16 minutes here to the hour of 8. And note that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of radio 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. But just in case it Australia would have now count 130 cases of COVID-19. Yesterday tested positive, and 3 of those persons would have been nationals of this country who would have been deported. And it further emphasizes the point, or enforces the point, which I've been making for the longest while, that the borders should remain closed. Because here it is, Trinidad and Tobago's COVID-19 count has increased by 4. This after 4 returning nationals tested positive for the virus yesterday. This takes the country's total recorded cases to 130. The new cases are 3 nationals who were deported from the United States last week, and 1 student who was part of a group, the University of the West Indies campus, last month. So the challenge in dealing with this pandemic really is when the borders are open. And when you look at what is happening in the United States, well, the pandemic continues there. And despite all of the warnings, more so coming from Dr. Fauci, states continue to open businesses. Rising cases continue. And a little bit later on in the program, I will give you the exact figure as coming from CNN. So as we continue to invite your calls at 636-7547 and 227-5739. And Nicole, this country is something else. Here it is for the past couple on burner, and rightly so, coronavirus and the impact it is having on Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday, the discussion centered around bars, where bars would now have, limited time, so to speak, 8 o'clock closing. This morning, the big story is this mayhem, turmoil, fiery protests in Port of Spain. In this country, every day, there is some issue to talk about.
Yes. But, Kenrick, something that I want to bring to your attention this morning. Yesterday, the son of the Jamaat al-Muslimin leader, Fuad Abu Bakr, was arrested for the protests, right? And we saw that we would have carried it in the news, and he had no information as to why his son was arrested. He called for his immediate release. I don't know if you recall, just last week or the week before, when they had the protest in Port of Spain, right? He was part of the protest. Fuad was a part of the protest. And immediately after, the Jamaat al-Muslimin, they issued a media release stating that he was no longer the PRO of the Jamaat al-Muslimin, right?
Yeah, Lorek Balak was now the PRO, yeah.
So I was a bit confused when I know that they were having the press conference. And I was a bit confused when I saw the imam sitting next to the lawyer. And now are we going to see a repeat of what we would have seen 30 years ago? Because, it's the 1st of July in a few weeks' time.
July 29th.
July, right? Are we going to see that? Because I'm a bit, confused because I would have thought that by him being removed as the PRO of the Jamaat al-Muslimin would have been tied into the protests. And now you're coming to say you don't know what's happening. You're calling for his release. You're basically supporting him. So now I'm a bit confused as to what is happening there.
Well, I am of the view that he was removed as the public relations officer of the Jamaat al-Muslimin because of comments he made against his father, where he said his father was a pandering to that Fuad Abu Bakr is the political leader of the New National Vision, a political party.
Yes.
Whether that party is a one-man party or not, I don't know.
But his father acknowledged that yesterday. If you would have listened to the songbite that we had played in the news, he said he is the political leader of the New National Vision. And if it is that he's speaking for the rights of people, politicians do it every day. So why did you arrest him? You know, so it brings a lot of things into question. You have to pay attention to what's going on there as well.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick.
Hi, good morning, friend.
I mean, I find Farouk Abu Bakr an adult, right? And as far as I think he's a lawyer, but he's qualified, right? But I think his father don't want to intervene there. He's an adult and he can handle himself. I don't understand. He operates on either some little 14-year-old child or 10-year-old child that guy arrested. There's a big man, a big adult, a leader of a party. You want to find out where he can fend for himself, he can talk and defend himself, man. So they're trying to make a big shara there.
And you have legal representation.
Yeah, legal representation. So he get a little press, he get a little press highlight yesterday, and that they like, and they like that.
No, what the Imam Abu Bakr is making the point that look, you have a right to protest.
They have control and they breaking what you.
Fuad Abu Bakr, he's a grown, mature man.
He's a grown, mature man, and he has all that sense. He's not a illiterate, but he's a learned person.
I don't think that his father should, take. I don't think his father should take responsibility for his. There are consequences, you know. There are consequences. Now, people taking issue.
He responsible for his action, man.
People taking issue with this woman who was shot and killed. Well, look, it's collateral damage. Here it is. You have a group of people to do. Lie down and play dead.
Yeah, the police don't have a choice. I mean that they tried their best in the situation that was ahead of them.
And I always say to you, the listening population, that once a police officer puts his hand on you, you are.
I saw in an article that an article stated that this woman that was killed, she was there, she was videotaping, and this leaves to wonder what people are asking what she's doing there. But let's be real, right? We are Trinidadians.
No, we love to be in the middle of the bacchanal.
She could have just been
in front of him. On the bicycle itself. So
I think a lot of persons who were there, they were just for the bacchanal, because it's us Trinidadians. We love bacchanal.
People stay in your house.
Kenrick,
good morning, sir.
I'd like to make a little statement, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes. Kenrick and Nicole, I hear that the reps for these areas of the test knew about it and they went and hide. And they blaming the UNC.
No, they have not pointed at the UNC. They pointed at a particular political party.
Yeah, but these people maybe had known about the intended protest.
Well, you're purely speculating there, my friend. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so I do find that the person, I don't want to call name, who was there last week and wasn't there yesterday, could have been there to try and pacify the situation.
All right.
Was there.
Oh, well, I hear. Well, go ahead.
But I'm seeing an article in the newspaper where the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Marlene McDonald, when she was making her way to her office, she was blocked, and she stopped blocking her way, and she made a comment that when they want hampers, it's by her office that they will be coming. So it's all about hampers in this country. That we should rename this country, hampers country, because that's all people seem to want, hamper. Look, people, we need to get away from this dependency syndrome that we have.
And Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have spoken about that. You have to get yourself away from the government of the day. Well, who would have created that scenario? Who would have created that environment? It's the government.
They would have spoiled them. Right. Yes, they spoiled us.
You get house, you get land, you get money, you get jobs. Everything you depend on the state. So when the state cannot afford to provide, let's say, certain things for you, you behave in a particular way. But I want to go back to the protest again. And I'm still calling, and I'm hoping that during the course of today and probably tomorrow, that the Minister of National Security can provide the evidence to suggest that this end took place in Port of Spain yesterday was as a result of people being paid by the opposition. I'm just, there's some sort of a press conference
we are
being held
hoping
today.
that the head of the National Security Council comes forward.
That's Prime Minister Dr. Keith
Yes.
Rowley. Okay, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
All right, Kendrick, I want to ask you a question.
Sure, dear.
All right, I want you to tell me if there's a correlation between a drug gang running a community and getting contracts to clean the drains and whatever in their community versus a very wealthy businessman who has a business in the community, violates all environmental zoning laws and continually gets contract by government. We think about that. What is the difference? Is there any morality difference? Anything that they're doing that is they're equally bad? And you know, we are the ones in the crossfires. We are, and we suffer, and nobody listens to us. You will go to your minister, and what do you say? Oh, I can't help you. I don't have time for you. Go to a lawyer. You go to a lawyer, and they'll charge you thousands of dollars. You cannot. Your voice is stifled. So I hope that the people who are protesting take some time to think. Take some time to think and plan. Where are we going from here, and who are we going to hold accountable? Because our young children are falling by the wayside, and yet you say those young, what are their role models? Your young boys getting shot every day. It's another generation of killers coming up now.
Well, these very same young men and women, they look to their elders in the community, they look to their parents as role models and as examples. But if the parents and the elders behave in a particular way, what do you expect of these young men and women?
And when they grow up in these communities where they are gang leaders, as we call them, what do they see? When everybody respects the gang leader, when he passed good day, sir, clear the way for him to pass, all these different things. What are you putting in their minds? So their role models would be the gang leader. I want to be like him. When I pass, people must respect me. People must be afraid of me. So it was different.
It's about bling bling.
Yeah, about the bling.
Yeah. You want everything.
It's about it's about the zest.
The zest.
Yes.
You want all the niceties, quote unquote, all the niceties in life.
Yes.
But you're not prepared to work hard
for it. And people don't understand that.
Let's take this caller. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
I want to say what I saw on the news too, where this cricketer fella, I suppose he's captain, I can't remember his name, and he said Black Matter lies, when they are going to England, they are going to put on a logo on the jersey.
Oh, that is Jason Holder. Jason Holder, yeah.
You see?
All right, well, I hear you. No, that's a decision taken by the cricketers and I guess the cricket board. I don't know if you understand. The story is that West Indies coming up against England in the 3-test series, and on the color of the West Indies players would be a logo a logo saying Black Lives Matter. To me, that is, and this is my honest opinion, this is just adding fuel to the flame.
Fire. Yeah.
This is just adding fuel to it. And I am saying that this matter should be revisited. I don't know whether there would have been proper consultation with other stakeholders, but I also understand too, Nicole, that the international these players to wear that on their clothing. Well, it's another matter altogether.
Let me ask you something. Would you consider yourself to be black? Okay, so then I'm black, you're black, all our lives matter here,
well,
right?
You see, it is an argument of convenience because you have quote unquote young Afro men being gunned down. You take up this charge, you take up this cause. Why? Because you think it's the right thing to do. Because why? It took place in America, and you want to transfer that into our own jurisdiction here. But most of them are misguided. The very same people you are protesting,
Yes.
Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, welcome. All right, we're so sorry to miss your call.
And it brings us back to the point. Black lives matter, but yet still you are killing your own.
Well, I asked Larry the question this morning. This man who was in South Trinidad, his life ought to matter too, Nicole. His life ought to matter.
It does.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
That's your skin tone, and my skin tone might be black. That doesn't make you black. When they identify.
No man, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Because you profile certain people as being black. I consider myself black. Please. Anyway, we're up to the
I consider myself mixed, given our history.
We're heading up to the hour of 8 o'clock, and of course we'll take the 8 o'clock newscast with Uma Ratan Singh. And when we come back, we'll be in the final hour of today's edition of the morning program. You Talk 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your joy. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
Brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday.
This is the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Ratan Singh. Good morning. Fuad Abu Bakr was taken into police custody for allegedly inciting. National Security Minister Stuart Young confirmed that the NNV political leader was arrested after being part of protests which took place in various parts of Port of Spain yesterday. Young said the NNV leader was arrested and taken to the Besson Street police station. Meanwhile, Imam Yassin Abu Bakr called for the immediate release of his sisters to avoid fighting with the police. Commenting on the weekend killing, the Imam described it as extrajudicial. Protest action has already started this morning in the Cocorite area. This followed a day of unrest in the country yesterday and into last night. Video footage showed fires in the roadways in Port of Spain and environs. Residents of Morvah, Beetham, Sealots, and other areas staged massive protests in the capital city. They called for justice in the police killing of 3 men in the same area on Saturday. A pregnant woman from Beetham Gardens was, while many others were injured. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Gary Griffiths said yesterday's demonstrations were well planned. He made a statement in an interview. The police commissioner said the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service had prior knowledge of the protest. However, he assured that the TTPS was prepared.
This started, we were aware of what took place because of the good intelligence that we received. We had that preemptive strike. We have prepared for this months in advance. Anticipation of such a situation like this. We have seen it worldwide. And through the Commissioner Command Center, we were able to see everything in real time. If you look in the back here, you'll be seeing we have over 100 getting real-time video footage. We also have the cameras throughout the country, and from that we were able to pinpoint every single action that was taken, almost every single one by these individuals. We were able to pinpoint it immediately.
That it was well planned.
Let us not be fooled into believing that the persons who did this was because of their rage over what had transpired. Two totally different things. There are many persons there who want justice. There are many persons who took part that would be protesting because of what took place. The individuals, however, who had plans to shoot at police officers, to shoot at the Attorney General, that had nothing to do with what took place a few days ago. This was they used that as an opportunity. We had intelligence.
The voice of Commissioner Gary Griffiths. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service yesterday said more arrests are impending. In a release, the TTPS said 72 persons were arrested thus far, and National Security Minister Stuart Young said persons were paid to protest. He made a comments at a he made a comments at a media briefing yesterday. The minister said that he had received reports of persons being recruited by criminal illustrated acts. Jamaat al-Muslimin leader Yassin conference yesterday.
reason for concern by anybody. 86% in a small country like this, 86% rise in police killings. The people therefore has to be concerned, and they must be concerned.
The Jamaat leader and his attorney to address the issue of his son's arrest. Fuad Abu Bakr was detained by police during protest actions in Port of Spain. Bakr called for his immediate release.
He is speaking on behalf of some people, then all politicians can be arrested tomorrow and charged if he's charged, because he is the leader of the New National Vision, and all politicians claim to speak on behalf of the people, right? And if he is there in the capacity of the New National Vision and speaking on behalf of the people, he's committing no offense. And so we're asking for an immediate release.
Barker also condemned the killings of the 3 men in Mova over the weekend.
It is very, very clear. The evidences are very, very clear that this seems to be an extrajudicial killing. And now they have exacerbated it. I don't know if you can confirm, but I understand that a woman was shot and that she died, and a man was also shot in Mova. He died, and 2 other people were shot. So the condition is now exacerbated even worse.
The voice of Jamaat al-Muslimin leader. Other stories. 2 vendors killed in separate incidents. The killing of a 42-year-old Diego Martin fish vendor may have been the result of a robbery which turned fatal. This as homicide officials claim they have no official motive for the killing of Marley Dog Ballantyne of Northwest Drive, Patna. Ballantyne had a quantity of cash in his possession before leaving his home. When police arrived at the scene of the homicide of Cicada Drive, Diego Martin, the cash was missing and the body of the 42-year-old man was found along the road around 8:40 p.m. Police are expected to increase exercises and operations this week in the Western Division as a result of the ongoing separate incident. 53-year-old Devanand Sugrim, a vegetable vendor, was gunned down while conducting sales at his penal stall yesterday afternoon. According to reports, around was at his vegetable stall near his home at Suchitrace when a silver motor vehicle pulled up at the front and the front seat passenger fired several shots at him, and the gunman escaped in the waiting vehicle. The body was viewed by a district medical officer who ordered its removal. An autopsy is at Forensic Science Center. COVID-19 cases are ongoing in this country. This as the Ministry of Health declares 4 additional returning nationals have tested positive for COVID-19 and noted as imported cases. The number of COVID-19 positive patients now stands at 9. 3 of the 4 nationals are recently deported nationals from the United States, while the other is a returning student from Barbados. According to samples submitted to CAFA and UWI site for testing for COVID-19 is 5,000, and number of unique patients tested completed 3,986. Number of samples which have tested positive is 130. 4 patients have been discharged from the Kora Hospital. Good news prevailed for stakeholders in the creative sector in the reopening of performance spaces. However, the stakeholders are wondering whether it will be even practical to organize shows given social distance limits on crowd size. This as president of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians organization, Brother Resistance, said it would be difficult to organize any entertainment in these spaces with gatherings limited to 25 people. Performance spaces will begin reopening from today with Queen's Hall in Port of Spain. The Southern Academy for Performing Arts and Naparima Bowl will reopen on July 6th, while the National Academy for Performing Arts will open its doors on August 3rd. And And now for the weather. New and the Windward Islands would experience sunny and breezy conditions despite a few cloudy spells accompanied by showers, 1 or 2 heavy at times. There is a 30% chance of the isolated thunderstorms during this afternoon. Tonight will be settled despite a few light lingering showers. Saharan dust concentration will increase from this afternoon, reaching unhealthy levels as the night progresses. Sensitive persons are asked to take the necessary precautions. Gusty winds and street flooding may occur in the vicinity of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate, waves 1 meter in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas, 9 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. newscast on New 975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 10 a.m. for news update. I am Irma Ratan Singh. Good morning.
That was major news to the hour. Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday.
Reason.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Shiguana Estate, Intrin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen in any of our 3 locations.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your General Contractors Limited located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
On the road again with U975 Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
So guys, the party continues this Saturday. Yes, Like Pepper Reloaded continues from 8 to 12 noon. Sharon Baru alongside DJ Vishal, 12 noon to 3 p.m. The captain takes full flight. Yes, Captain Kendall Juggernaut from 12 noon to 3 p.m. From 3 to 7 p.m. DJ Anil is in with a Hot Like Pepper mix. And from 7 to 1 a.m. the man Corky D is in the building and will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com for the Hot Like Pepper Saturdays Reloaded.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We have some other callers here on the line. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Morning again, Kenrick.
Yeah, good morning, Larry.
Kenrick, I listened to the news clip yesterday where Gary Griffith was explaining about he was in command center and he could have seen everything that was taking place on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I want Gary Griffith to understand something. The minds of a criminal, if you understand how they operate. You see where he did that statement and you are seeing things now on social media popping up of how the police was operating. Kenrick, these thugs will want to dismantle these CTC cameras throughout the city of Port of Spain in a very short space of time. Because they are going to think advanced. Helicopters and drones to use now whenever these things arise, very much soon to come again. So after listening to the news, that a thought came to my mind. So Gary Griffith, I want you to understand that even though that you are seeing things on the command center, if your cameras are not working, you cannot see unless you're on the ground itself. Second thing, Kenneth, I am waiting now to see the cultural committee, Indian cultural committee of this country. I want to see how now that the icon, Sambo Drama, has passed away due to his illness. What in his name now, in his memory, are they going to do to make sure that the rest of the generation that we have growing up now could remember who was Sambo to this country in the art? Because he was a very top classical singer. And I'm waiting patiently to see what now the Indian Cultural Committee of this country is doing for him. Have a good morning.
All right, well, thank you very much for your contribution. Well, a good point indeed, Larry, because I know that he would have been back, and I don't know whether cultural organization, and you, as you would have put it, would have extended any helping hand to him.
Southex.
Southex Promotions.
Yes, Southex Promotions, after they had done their virtual concert to raise funds to assist persons in the industry who were affected by COVID-19, Mr. George Singh, and I think that he was presented with some financial assistance at that point in time. But apart from Sam Budram, there's also Budram Hulas, who was ailing. He had some surgeries and stuff like that. So, and persons have been reaching out to assist him. They have sent messages and they express concerns, and they ask how they can, from persons from abroad as well. So yeah, there are people who out there who would assist.
Okay, let's take this one on the line. Yeah. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, the Honorable Kenrick and the young lady.
The young lady is Nicole Dookie.
Nicole Dookie, Miss Dookie. Accept my name, but
that's okay.
Kenrick, tell me so I'm going to embed it in my brains. All right, listen to this. Gigi apparently has played his hand, right? He has shown us how he basically has control, and he's seen everything like the eye in the sky. Now, if you're telling me you have the intelligence and somebody organizing with the gang leader caused some disruption, why did he not introduce a preventive strategy?
My thought exactly. Just bear with me a bit. When he made that, you would have been under the impression, that is Gary Griffith, that something untoward was going to happen. Well, why then didn't you instill, let's say, measures of greater policing, more patrols?
Yes.
You understand? So he apparently engaged his mouth before he put the gears in. Because everything the police did yesterday was reactive, was corrective action, nothing preventive. Look like this morning in Cocorite, they put debris in the road, but if you're telling me you have the intelligence, show us where you're deploying your assets. So I think that is the thing. Now, as you remember, just before, the Honorable Smallpin said some political party doing all kind of things, causing the commotion. And somewhere, I think it's on Charlotte Street, I think there was a shootout in broad daylight. Did these cameras pick up those people? Have those people been brought to the courts? Have they been arrested? Or we still having the intelligence on them? Why have the police not go after them? I mean to say, if you are telling me that tomorrow, look what the camera go. You see these fellas with the high-powered rifle, we get them. This is what we do. So he's only talking. I like to think outside the cardboard box. Remember the Calypso? We jamming and we burning down and things like that?
Yeah.
Right. That fella could go to screening, right? Because he's a prophet. You remember this fellow who went to screen? He has shown for Port of Spain South. You know what I'm talking about? The religious leader party. He's showing that he can mobilize. Isn't that so? So he's supposed to get the nomination. The man showing what he could do, how he can mobilize. Because if you are insinuating he might have been, I'm just saying so, he tells me that he could mobilize in the heavy roller lady constituency. Well, I have a nice day.
You shouldn't hear with me this morning. No, Nicole, if Gary Griffith, Commissioner of Police, is of the view preparing for such actions. Why then didn't you take measures in place to prevent such greater presence of police officers in and around the streets of Port of Spain?
Kenrick, no, don't get me wrong. I really like Gary Griffith, right? However, he is saying that they had intelligence information. So then your intelligence information should tell you who is the person at the helm of this. If you are saying that it was well planned and orchestrated and these things, then your intelligence should tell you who is the person at the helm. So why are you not going after that person?
All right, let's take this caller. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.
Again.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Nicola Gomez. Jealous day, It tell me I like Gary Griffith. We have to explain that off for my eyes. Mr. Kenrick. You know, this I saw a picture and also a news. They had front line there, by. And I know this people. Remember the police have armed, right? And I know where you saw the trying to arrest and you see. You think about it. The bottom line is lawlessness. We could be protesting and making that when the police reach, we need to have the respect for the authority, because you see, in this kind of crossfire, and when I mean crossfire, this kind of you and the police clash together. Anything can happen, anything can happen, and you make it by disrespecting the police, because the police are armed. The police wouldn't go there unarmed. You supposed to be unarmed, except for a few of you who might be armed illegally. This confrontation is a very unhealthy thing. I think from after yesterday, there should be system that whatever protest I have, when the police treats so respect for authority and for the police. Because you see what happens now, it escalates into whenever it's like a lucky and miss blue. And anything happens between, you might be the receiving, and then after you want to make us at that first, and you are the one in the wrong in the first place, you're protesting when the police treat have respect for authority.
Okay.
So I want to suggest that you ever know on here. Right?
All right, thank you. Nicole, I'm looking at this photograph on the front page of the newspaper. Look at it very carefully and tell me what you see after this caller. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yes, I just hear you reading about this Black Lives Matter on the West Indies color. I don't know, somebody in authority had to do something about West Indies cricket. It looks like nobody had done nothing about it. These fellas then going to support Black Lives Matter, or they're going to play cricket, right? You're going to play cricket with that dude on your color or that on your clothes. What that have to do with you and cricket? That has to do, since I born and grew up and watching cricket, I seen black people playing cricket. If black people go South Africa in time when they say don't go to South Africa, what Black Lives Matter have to do on your clothes? This is, the Finnish cricket board have to wake up and smell the coffee. Next thing, everybody with that foolishness going around is that I stop the cricket, I don't have no competition again, I don't the whole thing. Because I am telling you, Kenrick, as England right now, you put that on your clothes and you're playing against me, you're telling me something, and you're playing no cricket. Honestly, I'm telling you.
All right, well, I hear you. Well, as you touch on cricket, my understanding is that the Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with other stakeholders, will make a decision this week as to whether the Caribbean Premier League will be held in this country. To Nicole as to whether spectators would be allowed at these venues. My take on this, minus spectators, the entire tournament will be watered out.
Yes.
Now, that's my take on it. All right, just let me remind you, because I told you that I will keep you abreast as to what is happening in the United States as it relates to the coronavirus. Well, 2,636,538 persons have been tested positive thus far. The number of deaths in the United States now stands at 127,420. That figure, 2,636,538 people in the United States, 19. As I say this to you because yesterday the Ministry of Health would have reported that 3 nationals who would have been deported from the U.S. would have tested positive for COVID-19. A very interesting development taking place, and yet we want to continue this narrative, Nicole, about Carnival 2021.
Right.
Interesting. Let's take this caller.
Hello,
good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yeah, I want to share a thought on this with the cricket team thing. Sports is the only event in the world that cuts across all all barriers and all prejudices. And I think that's what they're going to do there. That they're going to start. It will be a portrait there. Will spoil the barrier of sports. It will spoil sports, and what going to happen is other people may copycat it. And the only ambassador we have, which is sports, that cutting across all divisions in the world, will we lose it. That's the end of the world being together in any event, sports, and that's a very bad precedent they're going to set there.
All right, well, I thank you very much for your thoughts with us.
Okay, so Kenrick, just a few minutes ago, the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs would have posted on their social media platform yesterday. The police service would have said that they raised their alert to red alert.
Red.
And a lot of people probably clear on what, right? It means that the police service will be in operational mode. Officers will adopt a zero tolerance approach, increased police operations, increase in roadblocks, increase in random searches, search on vehicles and properties, increased vigilance at all police stations. And what triggers it? Increase in homicides, gang warfare, threats to police officers, intel about potential crimes. So that's just a little bit of information on what red alert is and what it really means.
Well, then this country would have been in red alert for the longest while.
Should have been.
Yeah, of course, because we have a murder toll that continues to rise. Last year we would have recorded a murder toll close to 500, 227 people would have been murdered thus far. So what nonsense they're talking us about? That is just jargon. That is just pure theatric. The Trinidad and Tobago on police service on red alert. Red alert, yes, there have been a number of home invasion, burglaries, rape, murders all over the country. People are scared to come out.
Yes.
You know how you can check the safety of the people of Trinidad and Tobago? 90% of the homes in this country, 90%, Nicole, 90% of homes in this country have what you call burglar proof.
And cameras.
Yeah. And I wonder why.
People have cameras now.
I wonder why. And you telling me that you on red alert. Why? Because of what transpired yesterday. Now you're going to subject people all in San Fernando. Police officers are going to have roadblock. They're going to search your vehicles. They're going to ask you to come out of your car, search you, rob you down, ask for your identification, and what have you. Creating mayhem in places where it's a very quiet, law-abiding community. Why? Because of what? A misguided few. Misguided few. Anyway, Nicole, we need to take a commercial break at this time.
Visit the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays. Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Kelton Puran Manufacturers Limited of 44 Bay Road, Bamboo Village, La Romaine. Manufacturers, wholesalers, and importers of wheelbarrows, ridging, roof bolts, hold-down bolts, nipples, washers, hinges, sag rods, face basin, brass door frames, etc. Telephone 716 and fax number 657-4952. Email us at keltonpuran.mltd@yahoo.com.
On the road again with U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon podcast from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM Hot Like Pepper programming as we hit the road again.
Yes, indeed, and thanks for staying with us here at 9/7 hour. You can join the Bees Hi-Fi, who will be taking you until the hour of 12 noon today with some beautiful music from our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad. And yes, as our promo told you there, you can join us this Saturday down at Matais in Lower Barrackpore, where we will be bringing you a live broadcast from 3 12 until 3 in the afternoon. You can come on down and join our bandwagon. All of our members of staff, you can come and rub shoulders with us there. Nicole will be there also too, taking in the proceedings. It's a live broadcast. It's part of our On the Road show again. So look out for great things coming from 975 FM, hot like pepper, as it relates to outside broadcasting. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Well, I know here advertisement no good and call the actor here. They should be there. So.
I'll feel safer in that part of the country.
Yeah, and welcome to South.
What imports? Mackay Import?
Mackay Imports, Hassan Ali Trees, Lower Barakpo.
Lower Barakpo, Hassan Ali. Starting from 12?
Yes, starting from 12.
That's Saturday?
That's Saturday, yes.
All right, I'll be there. Mr. Mukis will be there?
Well, we have a number of staffers who will be there. I cannot give you the...
All right, Ms. Nicola, looking forward to seeing you.
Okay. All right, yeah. All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much. Yes, we'll be down there at Hassan Ali Trace, Mackay Imports, bringing you a live broadcast 12 until 3 in the afternoon. And note also to folks that we'll be carrying it live on YouTube, courtesy Parasram Productions. Let's say good morning again to our good friend Shiva Parasram this morning. Let's take a call on the line, Nicole. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Kendrick and Miss Nicole.
Good morning, friend. Good morning. Okay, then. Well, we'll have
All
to...
right, so please revisit that ad and revisit that information accordingly.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much. Well, according to that show has been rescheduled, and we'll keep you posted as to what is happening. Stay with us here. 975 FM, hot like pepper.
I was about to tell you, I do know Barakpo.
You do know Barakpo?
Yes.
It's a very quiet and serene community.
I've been there.
You'll feel safe in Barakpo.
Of course, I I know the country.
Like most parts in South Trinidad, you'll feel safe.
Even though I spend most of my time on the East-West corridor,
Okay, let's take another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning to you and your guest here this morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Join you a bit late, sir. I want to ask you a question. If you touch it before, well, Joe, bear with me. There was a young lady, or a lady who died shot yesterday in the protest, right?
Yeah.
They determine how she died? Is it by the police or the bandit?
Well, I cannot tell you how she died.
They
because
will be investigating that matter as well.
There are reports, certain reports circulating that she would have been shot. By whom?
All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You see, I try to protect myself.
Yes.
I need to protect myself because I cannot say it's the police because I'm not an investigator.
Let's wait for the investigation to be completed, and we would know what really transpired.
All right. So what can we anticipate today? There's an anticipation that there could be more protests in Port of Spain. And I am hoping that maybe the authorities of the day in Nicole will take all the necessary action to ensure that people's lives are protected and properties are protected and so on. I noted today that a number of businesses in and around the Port of Spain jurisdiction would be closed as a result of what transpired yesterday and into last night. And a number of people would have been asked to stay away from Port of Spain.
There's a reaction. And if you were following up for the past weeks, nurses have been protesting at the various health institutions, and they were supposed to stage protest action today. However, the Nurses Association has advised them that the protest would be cancelled, but they are also telling them to stay away from health institutions at these hotspots. So when you do this, what about, so these young people are out protesting, and they're creating problems, people are basically inconvenienced. When you do this and you have relatives at home, maybe a sick grandmother or somebody who may be unwell and needs to get medical attention, and these nurses cannot come to work, how and where are you going to get this?
And
and they will protest. They will say, they will create problems again.
They will call on the government
launch
of the
an
day.
attack against the Ministry of Health and the nurses and the doctors and everyone.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to the president of the 2x4 club. You really had to get that club going by...
Bull pistol from Mukesh.
That about the bull pistol. All right.
All right, hear this. I've been listed very intently yesterday concerning these hot spots. And I would give Gary Griffith 150% backup. Because these gangs, you see all where they had the flare up, these are organized. And you know who started this gang? Patrick Manning met with these so-called community leaders, and he gave them contracts and all of that. They put money in their pocket. Well, now they're still getting contract. So what they're flaring up for? The police have a mandate to keep law and order. We cannot have a set of cockroaches doing what they're doing. Now, I have been saying this a long time. The crime that we have here in Trinidad and Tobago is an offshoot of that from Jamaica. Would like to see an exterminator go into them places and just wipe it out clean. We cannot afford to have the rest of the population being terrorized by these people. And I could be racial, but I won't bring out the racial thing. Who gets the most people that get robbed in Trinidad and Tobago? Majority of these bandits, where they come from, they steal cars and go all over Trinidad and Tobago and rob. That we can't have. So Gary has 100 just for me. Clean out the cockroaches. A few people will die, but at least we first to go forward. And Stuart Young, you could keep blabbing your mouth about the opposition. Keep blabbing your mouth. I don't think you'll be going back. You will lose your seat, Mr. Stuart Young. Hey, that is his mantra. All right, thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Well, talking about mantra, as I said to the audiences yesterday, I've been trying to get in touch with Anita Haynes, who is the Public Relations Officer of the United National Congress, but I would have failed thus far. I'm hoping that maybe I can get, we'll have to try to get somebody else concerning, as it relates to all that would have transpired yesterday. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Kendrick.
And good morning to you.
Young lady next to you.
Well, the nice young lady is Nicole.
Right, good morning. Kendrick, I have a problem with the lady who gets shot. Okay, she was pregnant, right? Don't you think she should have think twice before going to that protest? Okay, I could get pushed down by some people. Yeah, you know, what you going with your big belly to go and protest for? Leave that, she should have think twice. Now, I'm sorry that's how she died, I'm very sorry about that. Now nobody knows how she died, right? So I'm very sorry, and I think she should have think twice. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning again, Mr. Kellogg.
Good morning to you, sir.
Just a statement the gentleman made before the lady. Gentlemen, all of them died within 1 year to 2 years. And you know what they said? By that meeting, Mr. Manning had eliminated them. That was the rumor. So these people that you're talking about are now gang members. There's a whole new group of people just pop up on the scene again, my brother. We don't live here. We complaining, but we don't live in this community, so I could tell you what's taking place in my community. I born and grew up here.
So hold on. What is the answer for your community?
Excuse me?
Yeah, what is the answer for... Good.
First thing first, it starts with better parenting.
Go to the head of the class.
First thing first. Outline all the things they say PNM do for people in Lavantil. And the same people tell me everything was doing in Lavantil. We have must, we have high. But if I live in Sawa, I can't go along in Lavantil in the must school. Or I can't go in Turval because I come from Lavantil. That is the problem we have. And if the gang members could come together to stop killing each other.
Well, you asking answers in front.
Well, you see, again, because this is what transpired. So they have to think. If they could organize, call a man in San Fernando to form a protest and tell me Black Lives Matter. And that is not the issue. The issue is to have that we and I having this morning. Enjoy your morning.
All right, well, thank you. Well, you're not telling us anything new. I would have said that on a number of occasions on this program. The fact is, a child is shaped by her or his environment. I don't have to say much more than that. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
All right, 2 cents I have to see. You see, Mr. Barataria, I think we on the same page, and you see, all the people that go to see things, they should get some rat stuff too. We cautious, you know. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
That's the same thing I was saying. Trinidadians love Bacchanal, so something is happening. Even if they're not protesting, they're going in the Bacchanal.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
That man's a mouthful. Parental neglect.
Well, Chris, how many times you and I have been talking about this?
Exactly. And anytime you kill one of those people, it have 4 want to take his place. So it means the problem. But there are many people who come on this radio station. They is not the parents. It's the example of the politicians. Well, let me tell them, our people get the government they deserve. And if you want a hamburger to vote for me, why I must waste my time to come and do anything else but sell a hamburger for you? That is what you want. What you want is what you get. And this country, people have to understand who they are, what they are, their human life. What you want, and tell your politician, hey, say, well, this is one of two things. Is that you take personal responsibility and tell the government, or you have some people who could take the reins in government and say, hey, if you can't discipline yourself and do things to make you productive, you talk, you're in China right now. If you come out and talk against the government, you could go jail for life. For life. In Trinidad, some more people come here and talk so much adultishness, uninformed, uneducated, stupid, and come to tell us in this country, this is the right. We stupid, we wrong. I do want to tell you something else. I come from 1951, I was born. And I said before this one station, I went to school, where the indentures came in. I've been a professional, I've been a teacher, I've been an insurance agency manager, and I run the only educational talk company in Trinidad and Tobago. That is my achievement. My younger brother was the only Hobart qualified engineer in the whole Caribbean. My elder brother was a retired school supervisor. Where we get it from? We had a mother, we had a father, you know.
Well, this is the point, Chris, I would have made on a number of occasions. And I would have said to you, there are opportunities in the event of the day for not providing the necessary avenue for you to build capacity and to empower yourselves. But if you do not have the necessary, let's say, wherewithal or the enthusiasm to want to do it, the government cannot force you to take an education. If you do not have parental support or an environment that is supporting you for you to build capacity, so to speak, well, then you'll be another statistic on the road. There are avenues you need to take. Look, Nicole.
Education is free, but you can do a skills training, and you're getting paid. Even if it's to cover the cost of your travel expenses, you're still getting paid.
This is the only country I know, Nicole, where you pay young people to learn a trade. You pay them to learn a trade.
Kenrick, I remembered a few years ago when the Minister of Tertiary Education. You know, he has this training, and he would have opened all these schools, NESC branches across the country. He was very instrumental in CCC and all these different training, technical vocational training schools. And I remembered even him going the distance to expose persons in these said communities to ICT. I don't know if you recall the hole in the wall where the computer placed in the wall, so children in those areas, even though that they don't have access to internet and all these different things, they could these computers.
Anytime an individual fails to realize his or her true potential, you tend to blame someone else. In this respect, you blame the government of the day for not providing you with the necessary things. Look, the government can only do so much, you know.
Exactly. Do you remember the time that they protested over the $69? $69, and they protested over that? Yeah. So then, what it is you really want?
And when an investigation was launched, that some of these people were actually collecting the $69 or $70 a day and not showing up to the regular classes or workplace. And that's how it is in Trinidad. So who do you blame? As a result of your failure, you blame the government of the day, and you behave in a particular way. Most of those people who came out yesterday joined a chorus of call, because justice. Raise your hand in the air. But misguided, and my caller from Baratara is right. If you lack proper parenting, proper guidance, you are doomed to failure. You are doomed to failure. And then what you gravitate towards the bad boy image, towards the area or an environment where you feel protected, you know, involved with bad boys, and you create gangs and what have you, and you behave in a particular way, that you create mayhem. This is exactly what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Here it is, you have an entire country under siege. An entire country on misguided youths. Anyway, Nicole, I need to take a very short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up today's edition of the morning program, You Talk, on the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here. We'll be right back after these messages. Let's hear from Bartlett Drugs.
Tired of aches and pains in your joints and back area? Well, your relief is here with Ridopain Liniment. Ridopain Liniment gets rid of fibrositis, stiffness, and all your... It is also excellent for sport injuries. Try Ridopain Liniment today. It really works. Available at Bartlett Drugs and all leading pharmacies nationwide.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters, and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax, and such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton, and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Well, yes, Nicole, we had a very healthy and heated discussion here this morning with some of our callers. A very busy morning indeed. And I'm hoping that and maybe the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service can actually...
Head of the National Security Council.
We have Prime Minister Dr.
We need to hear the Prime Minister. We need to hear his voice. Even the President. I think we need to hear something from the President as well.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe today the Prime Minister, if the situation continues to escalate, as there is a view being shared, if it continues to escalate, maybe we can hear from the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley.
Yes, we need to hear from him.
National Security Minister Stuart Young calling on, let's say, quote-unquote restrictions in Port of Spain. But if they do not buy the action, Nicole, this country will be viewed in the Western Hemisphere as one of the most violent countries in the world. Let's take this call on the line. This final caller. Hello. Okay. Well, on that note, we must say our final goodbye for the day and invite you to join us again tomorrow, just after the 6 o'clock hour, where we will do this all over again. I am Kenrick Juggernaut.
And I am Nicole Dookie.
Do have a safe and productive day. But before I go, I want to leave you with this selection. Been trying to get it all morning, but I have to go. But I'll try to get it a bit. Let me see if I can get it here now. Okay, here it is. The Mighty Chalkdust.
Jumba, Jumba, peace, Akia, faith, God bless. That I must have to be a politician. When I grow up, I want to become a famous man, like George Bush, Pandy Robinson, and Reagan. I know to be a doctor, you need a degree. I know a simple soldier must be tall with a strong body. To become a scientist, you need maths for this. But what must I study?